Hi everybody, so we're going to be working on gears and clutch today. So I've got a camera on my feet and I'll have a camera pointing at the gears. So we're in neutral at the moment, and you know you're in neutral because you can push it across where if you're in gear there's not much movement. So I'm going to put my foot on the clutch, pop it in first gear, and moving off. It needs a little bit of power in a diesel car. It needs a little bit of power in a petrol car. Maybe you can get away with no power in a diesel, but really you want to be putting a little bit of power on and lifting a little bit to the biting point and looking round. And we're doing some work on what's happening with the pedals. So as I'm moving off, I'm off the clutch completely, because if you're coming off it fast, you're going to judder. And the last thing you want to do is judder. So we'll go left out of here, so it's signalling, covering the brake, lowering the clutch because I can't see, and stopping, having a good look, off the brake, gas, and a little bit of biting point. And I'm still in first gear. Now, as I move off now, I'm off the gas, clutch down, second gear, off the clutch slowly. If you jump off the clutch quick, you're gonna judder. And if that's what's happening, then you know what's causing it. So we're going to go left at the end. So we're checking, covering the brake. It looks clear. Yeah, it's definitely clear. And going. So I didn't use the clutch at all then, because I could see quite clearly. I just used a little bit of brake, slowed the car down, and took it from there. So we're going to go left at the end of it. Now this one's a little bit trickier. It's a busier road. So let's check the mirrors and signalling, braking, lowering the clutch right down to the ground, pop it in first gear. Off the brake, gas, and get a little bit of biting point, hold it. Now if you can't do that, put your handbrake on. And then we're moving off, lifting the clutch a little bit slowly. And if you're finding that you're juddering or you're stalling, then it's either not enough power on the gas pedal, or you jump off the clutch too quick, because you need to let the car take a bit of momentum, build a bit of speed up. And I say to people, try and do it in 3 seconds. So when you move off, 1, 2, 3 before you come off the clutch. And I'll demonstrate that in a second for you. Actually, I'll get a parking space and we'll demonstrate it so you can know what's going on. So we'll do a left turn at this junction coming up here. Mirrors, signalling, covering the brake, and I'm coming in this bit here. And we'll put into space here. So I'm covering the brake, clutch goes right down. Now I'm not popping into first gear straight away, but I would be if I'd be doing it at this point now. Obviously if I'm stopping, handbrake, neutral, cancel signal. Now, I talked about not jumping off the clutch, because, and I'll demonstrate a couple of things that people do. They'll go a bit of gas, a little bit of biting point, and as the handbrake comes off, the clutch comes up, and it's cutting out on you. It's just basically cutting out. So clutch down, neutral, start the car again. There's different ways of doing it. So what you want to say is, I'm in first gear now, clutch is already on, gas on, biting point, hold it, and just go 1, 2, see the car's picking up speed, and then just lift the clutch off slowly and just carry on. Now if you wanted to pull away faster, I'll just pull over here, braking, clutching, right? You could go gas, biting point, and do things quicker by lifting the clutch and pressing the gas at the same time, so they balance each other. Think of it like a scale. One goes up, one goes down. So as the clutch goes up, the gas goes down. Think of it like that, and you'll find it easier. So I'm back into first gear, bit of gas, holding the clutch, and lifting the clutch slowly. Remember, when you're going round corners, like pulling out of junctions on the left or right, if you're lifting that clutch up, it's going to speed up, isn't it? If you don't want to speed up, hold it still. If you're going too fast, lower it a touch. And we're talking about a millimetre or two here. We're not talking centimetres, we're in millimetres. And it does take a bit of practice, especially in the first 10, 20 hours of lessons when you're learning what to do with the feet, because you can't see them. So this video is probably going to be great for you. Remember, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. So we'll do a right turn here. So I'm checking my mirrors, signalling, braking, lowering the clutch down a little bit. There's a car there, so I'm lowering it down to first gear to stop, pop it in first, I'm not going to use my handbrake, there's nothing behind me. I'm going to go gas biting point. Watch, gas biting point. So it's not rolling. Now if you're worried about rolling, you could lift off the brake. If it rolls, back on. But I'm going to go gas biting point, hold the clutch still, and I'm going to go slow. I'm going to keep on the clutch, see? But if I lift the clutch off, it's still going to go slow because I'm not pressing the gas hard. But if you want to go faster, lift the clutch and press the gas. But you've got to remember, you've got to be able to control that speed. So I say to lots of people, if you can control the speed at slow speeds, you can control this car at slow speeds, then fantastic. If you can't control it at slow speeds, then you're struggling. And I'm just keeping it in first gear because it's narrow here, and if a car comes the other way, it's going to be a struggle for both of us. I'm looking at the road, and I'll pop it in second. Off the clutch, back on the gas. As I come off the clutch then, I lift it off like a feather. I'm braking, taking my time, not a lot of space. Coming back out. And if you think you can't get through, just stop. I'm going to go left at the end. It's on a bit of a hill, nothing behind me. So I'll demonstrate again. So I'm clutch down, pop it in first gear. Now, if there's a car behind you done that, you're going to roll into me, aren't you? So that's where the handbrake works. So it's handbrake, gas and biting point. So no matter how good you get, never be afraid to use the handbrake if you think you need to. Because I come across lots of learners who think, oh, I should never use the handbrake because I've been told never use the handbrake unless you're stationary and you're pulling up a side road and you're finished. Well, if you're on the hill, put the handbrake on. You don't roll back then, do you? As I'm slowing down for the lights. Clutch down, first gear, gas, biting point. Hold it, 3, 2, 1. As you get into like one-ish, you're already moving. You can tell you're moving, you're lifting off at the same time. And as you're lifting that clutch off, you're pressing the gas down. Back to third gear went then. So I'm hoping this helps you. It's just a quick one on gears and the clutch and the gas and what's happening in the brake. And I'll see you next week.